Muller versus Oregon upheld an Oregon law limiting the workday for female wage earners to 10 hours. This law stated women could not work more than 10 hours a day in factories and laundries. It began when an employee at Muller's Laundry, Emma Gotcher, was forced to work more than 10 hours and Muller was convicted of violating the law. Muller's appeal was brought to the Supreme Court. The defense was known as the Brandeis Brief.
Sir, my shift ended an hour ago.
Stubborn woman, you started at 7 a.m., not 8 a.m.
But sir, the law says I can only work for 10 hours, and I'm 99% sure we started at 7.
You work until I tell you to stop working, or you'll be fired. Ignorant woman.
Florence Kelly was a social reformer who believed that the protection of women would expand the door to greater state protections of workers. She sought to get around court decisions that limited the state regulation of labor, such as Lochner versus New York, where the Supreme Court ruled that New York setting maximum working hours for bakers was unconstitutional because it violated the 14th Amendment. However, this case also suggested that it would support state laws and regulation if it directly linked to health and safety. Florence sought Brandeis to defend the case. Brandeis used social science and medical information as evidence to show how long hours of work impacted a woman's health.
It's harder for women to work 10 hours because their bodies are biologically different from men's. They can't withstand the tortures presented in long work days.
Brandeis' brief also sought to disregard previous Supreme Court decisions that emphasized workers' freedom to contract, which was the right of an adult to make legally binding agreements with one or more individuals without governmental interference as to what type of obligations he or she can take upon himself. On the other side, Muller's attorney, William Fenton, was against state intervention in the economy. He argued that women, as citizens, deserve same rights as other citizens, including the freedom to contract freely. This was the same views as other feminists.
We cannot be defined by our differences from men. Us women have our own power that we can use to fight for our rights. Hashtag men suck.
In the end, Brandeis won. The impact was that it set the precedent that enabled the court to approve some state reforms when other cases had been rejected under Lochner's reasoning. It also established the precedent to expand state activity into protective labor legislation.